Yeah. There we go. At least now I don't have to try and hold it for Jimmy. You just kind of let it be what it is. Hey guys, Eric and Tom here. We're doing another battle report. It's going to be another Dwarves versus Elves. This one will be hopefully a little bit quicker because I won't have to edit this quite as much because we don't have Jimmy here.
Swearing.
And unfortunately, Juicy swears like a sailor. So yeah, at least I don't have to edit everything quite as much. But we got two more. Well, they're the armies you guys have seen before, but they're we're throwing them in a different scenario this time. And I'm just trying to think, what is this one again? This is Salty Earth.
Yeah, we haven't played this one in a while. It's kind of interesting.
Yep, we haven't played this one. This is one of the newer, I guess. Well, it's the newest for the edition, right? It's one of the newer objectives. Pretty much, you start out with 6 objective markers. One is in the exact center, and then one opponent
7
has
objectives, right? Because there's 6, we put down 6 in there.
1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot that I'm on the other one. So I'm like counting them. That's right. So there are actually 7, sorry. 7 objective markers. One in the middle, it cannot be removed no matter what. The other 6 can be removed once a unit is on them.
Yeah, but you don't get points for it if you destroy it.
Right, so
it's kind of, you got to choose which way you're going to play.
There's some strategy to this one because you could totally burn an objective and that's cool, but then if your opponent's not burning them, then obviously you have the choice. And if you know you're going to get like overrun on one side, maybe it's good to try and burn a couple of them, and kind of screw over the opponent. But you got to also pay attention to that middle one, which cannot be burned. So this one's going to be kind of fun. I'm trying to think. I went back to my old elf list that I played one of our very first battle reports of 3rd edition. We did have some comments on the last battle report where we did elves versus dwarves. People were asking, is there any way that an elf list could beat the dwarf list? And that's a very good question.
So we're going to see what we can do.
We're going to see, we'll see. Of course, the army is limited by the person pushing the army, which is me. And I will tell you guys right now, Tom's really good at this game. So if this army was in somebody else's hands, maybe it could do it. I still think it's got a chance. I mean, I think
definitely got a chance.
And every army has a chance as long as the points are even, and nobody's breaking the list, right? The game itself is very balanced, which is good. So I think you have a chance regardless. But we'll see what happens this game. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we got. Oh, guys, if you like these battle reports, please let us know.
Hit the subscribe. We're up to 101, so we got 100.
101 subscribers.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yes, thank you guys for supporting us and supporting the channel. You can always check out also on Facebook too. We try and post on there the battle reports as well, which obviously if you subscribe to us on YouTube, that doesn't matter. You'll see it'll pop up anyway. But on Facebook, we do actually have a little shop on there where people can buy some stuff. Not a big deal. But if you want to really have a 4Up Gaming t-shirt,
heck yeah, you can do support us.
But yeah, so pretty much the money that we get, if we get any money from YouTube, it goes right back into the armies and stuff like that itself. So, but if you guys like the channel, please also hit the like button. If you guys like the video, if you guys like the content, please also hit the like button as well. That helps us out. And let us know what you guys want to see in the future. If you guys want to see certain scenarios, certain armies playing ones. I know that this is going to be the 3rd one with Elves and Dwarves, but let's be honest here. I mean, they're 2 of the mainstays of the fantasy-themed world, so a lot of people like them.
So we got full armies.
Yeah, and so if you guys want to see more of the ogres, then you need to tell Jimmy that he needs to get up off his butt and actually come play games. But if you guys want to see more of the undead against the Rackin, I know you're going to send off the Rackin to get them painted, so they're going to be shelved for a little while. Or I'm sorry, not painted, but assembled and all that kind of stuff. So they might be shelved for a little while, but the undead is still good to go. We can always do free dwarves. I can do Sylvankin as well. I just need to paint some models. But we want to know, guys. I mean, we love playing the game. We love playing with different armies, but we also want to know what you guys like to see as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just trying to fine tune this army here. That's why I've been playing it. It's my second time playing this army list, this type of list. So I want to see how it works.
Yeah, trying to fine tune it.
Yeah.
And also, guys, if you want to see different point levels, if you guys would rather see 1,000-point game, 15,
probably not 1,000 points. That seems kind of lame.
1,500, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, well, I don't know if we have enough to do. Well, you probably do. I probably have 3,000.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys want to see different point limits, then let us know. Please let us know. And also, again, you know, we enjoy the comments. Tim, thank you for giving us a huge shout out, pretty much saying that our stuff is almost as good as Mastercrafted.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. We really appreciate that, because we really enjoyed Mastercrafted's battle reports when they were doing them. It sucks they're not doing them anymore, or at least for the time being they're not doing them.
Close. That's awesome. I'll take that.
Yeah, I will totally take that all day.
That's a good compliment.
That is definitely a good comment. So, or compliment. Yeah. So, all right, guys. With that, we will get started. All right, Tom. So, what do we got over here?
2 regiments of Brock Riders.
Okay.
The Lord on Beast, Large Beast.
Okay.
2 Organ Guns.
Damn Organ Guns.
Regiment of Brock Riders. 2 Hordes of Shield Breakers. BSB with Loot.
Okay.
Gullick's Fury. Regular Steel Behemoth.
Bastards.
And another Lord on Beast.
Those guys are painted so good. I mean, they're all painted really good, but... yeah, those guys are painted awesome.
Good old Sri Lanka guy.
Right? All right, guys, and for the elves, yes, I started moving already in my turn, so my apologies for these things being moved, but I got a horde of Palace Guard. Behind them, I have 2 bolt throwers. I've got
Wiffle arrows.
What's that?
Who brought the Wiffle arrows?
The Wiffle arrows, apparently, yeah. I have a Tree Herder. He has Loot of Insatiable Darkness. And then I have a whole bunch of regiments here in the middle. I've got a Shield Watch regiment, and then 2 Sea Guard regiments with a mage behind them. He's got Banechant, Hex, and Inspiring Talisman. And then back there, I have another horde of Shield Watch. The Shield Watch have the orange shields. The unit that's red with the banner right there, they are Tall Spears. And then over here, I've got 2 more regiments of Sea Guard with a horde of Palace Guard behind them. So, as far as terrain goes, we've got Impassable, we've got a height 2 hill, right? Height 2?
Height 2.
We've got a forest, we have Impassable, obviously. And over on the other side, we have another forest. We have a, ooh, it's like focusing on my finger instead of, yeah, we've got another height, actually that one's height 3, right? Height 3 hill?
Height 3.
And then we've got Impassable, and more Impassable. The red tokens are the objectives that can be burned. One of my units is actually on one of those tokens. And then this token in the center, that is the one that cannot be burned. So here's a nice little overview. You guys can definitely see it from the other camera angle, but nice little overview of the armies. So yeah, with that, we will go ahead and get back to turn 1. Sorry about that, guys. Hey guys, sorry there's no video recap of this turn. Unfortunately, I thought I had hit the record button, but apparently I had not hit the record button. So at least with turn 1 for both of us, it was mostly moving, and I did some shooting. Tom, I don't think, had anything that he could shoot. I don't think there was anything in range at the time. So it's a pretty basic turn. As you can see here, obviously I'm measuring distances with his organ guns, making sure I'm out of range. Those organ guns have a 24-inch range. And even though they're only 5s to hit, when Tom's shooting with them, they hit 50%, if not better. And I wish I was kidding on that stat, but you'll see later in the game that I'm not kidding with that stat at all. My bolt throwers, I shot at his steel behemoths because that's what you do, right? Well, neither one of us had paid attention, and we didn't know that steel behemoths are actually only height 5. And so I'm shooting over a height 3 hill. Unfortunately, I had to take a cover save, so that did not help me out at all. As far as the rest of the movement goes, you know, I'm trying to push the flanks a little bit more than I am the middle. I'm just trying to throw a bunch of stuff in the middle, and as you can see from this early deployment, the middle of his line is actually not very strong. So there's not any shooting. He's got 1 unit of cavalry there in the middle, which is fine because 2 out of my 3 units on the front line there have phalanx, so I'm not worried about his unit of Brock Riders. I'm more worried about the shield breakers, but I feel that I can probably stuff them up in the middle there and move quickly around the sides and kind of press those flanks. That was the idea, at least. So I forgot, Tom actually did do some shooting here. He moves up, makes sure he's out of my charge range, and then he does move up with the steel behemoths. The steel behemoths have steady aim, and he was able to shoot at a couple of my regiments, which, you know, again, regiments have some survivability. I don't have any heal in this army, which will probably help me if I were to put some heal back in here, because he's able just to put a couple wounds, which when you put a couple wounds on a regiment is not a big deal, you know, for the first turn, but then you start doing it, you know, 2, 3, 4 turns, you're going to wipe them off the board pretty quick. All right, so end of turn 2. You drew first blood in the terms of killing something. So good job, Tom.
Blew a hole in the center.
Blew a hole in the center. I mean, they're also regiments, but that was good. You did 10 wounds with the Brock Riders, and then rolled a 9 twice on the nerve. Yep. So yeah, they only had 1 wound on them before you charged in like that. And then you wiped out the unit of Sea Guard in the middle there. You shot them up pretty good. So
2 organ guns.
Yeah, 2 organ guns. I mean, they were dead. You did like 2 wounds, I think, 1 or 2 wounds on them, and then you rolled double ones.
Double ones.
That was the only bad nerve roll that you had.
I wasn't expecting to break them, just do a couple wounds. That's
right.
all I was trying to do.
Let's see. You moved back your
Steel behemoth.
Steel behemoth. Thank you. He was in my charge range, yep. So you moved him back. So now I got to make a hard decision with those guys. Let's see, what else did you do?
That was it.
That was about it, wasn't it?
That was about it.
Yeah, right now we're both kind of just slowly moving at each other, just kind of jab here, shoot here, and unfortunately your shooting is being way more consistent than mine. So how many shots are those organ guns?
12.
12 shots needing 5s?
Needing 5s.
God in heaven, man, you did great shooting them. I think the one you got like 6 or 7 hits off of 1 roll.
It was pretty good. It was
Yeah,
5, I think,
that was pretty darn good. I don't know if I can compete with that. Especially my bolt throwers have done nothing.
Wiffle darts.
Nothing. How much are your organ guns?
90, I think.
Ah! Well, they're the same price. But mine has elite. What the hell? Anyway, I will go and cry in the corner here in a minute. We're going to get going into turn 3.
Turn 3.
All right, we're at end of turn 3. And ouch, this one hurt bad. You shot one of my dudes off the board.
Organ guns.
Organ guns.
Firing squad.
Dude, it was bad. You did, what did we figure? 10?
11 wounds.
11, no, 12. 12 wounds. They only had 2 on them. They only had 2.
They were up to 14 round.
Yeah, and you got them to 14. So that was amazing. Let's see. The only thing that you kind of failed at was this one, really. And by failure, you did what, 9 wounds? Yeah, 9 wounds. But you're able to waver them.
Yeah. 9 wounds, 25 attacks. I mean, it's
I just say failure because normally you roll amazing on everything. So, Rock Riders coming into Sea Guard with Phalanx. You still managed to do 6 wounds and then rolled enough on your dice roll to waver them. Guys, can you see my frustration sometimes? So ridiculous. Well, then I swear to God, you sold your soul to the dice gods. Like, that's all I'm saying. Luckily, this one was only 2 wounds on here, but that guy's defense 6, right? He's gonna be a douche. Over here, you did the same thing. I think you only did 1 or 2 wounds. So just stuffing me my lines here is what you're doing. Doing a pretty good job. So, yeah, another waiver, 2 waivers on the board. I did take out your Brock Riders, but that didn't matter. Right. So, but I had to. Obviously, you were already in my line, so I couldn't just let you sit there. I mean, I guess I could have charged you with my tree herder, but then you got 2 powerhouses right there that are just waiting for a piece of that. So, all right, we're gonna go on to top of 4, and we're gonna see how this goes out. Just so you guys know, none of us have burned any of our tokens so far, so there are still all the objectives on the board. So, all right, guys, I'll see you at the end of turn 4. All right, guys, bottom of 4. You ever have that dream where you are at school and you're naked and you're so embarrassed and, So this is kind of like that dream, except that I'm angry instead of being embarrassed because holy shit. This is where you can't roll anything to save your flippin' life and your opponent should be burned at the stake. They should be burned at the stake, I tell you. There's witchcraft going on here.
My 2 lords on beast are whiffing.
Oh yes, your 2 lords on beast are whiffing. I will say though, this one is totally whiffing. Yeah. Because that's a shit unit.
These guys whiffed too.
And no, they didn't. It's just you sucked on your nerve roll. He's got 13 freaking wounds.
For both of them?
13.
Come on.
He did 12 wounds. He's defense 6. He's just like you, kind of, sort of. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to start over here with what happened this turn. I rolled, I did 2 wounds with Palace Guard. 2 wounds, guys. 2 wounds. Pathetic. My bolt throwers did nothing. 1 was out of range because my tree herder's right in the way. Yeah. But yeah, nothing. So all of the wounds, except for maybe like 2 or 3 that are on him, are actually from the tree herder.
These are from the tree herder, those are from the
that's right. So they've actually done 5 wounds. Woo! Let's see. Over here, you took out the unit that was wavered. That was going to happen because that's your hammer unit. You're pretty. Those units, those are your shield
breakers.
Shield breakers. Shield breakers are pretty much Palace Guard without the elite.
Yep.
Yeah, and then let's see.
Don't forget, I tried to bane chant.
You did try and bait like a dick move. He tried to bane chant the Steel Behemoth because that's what was needed.
Don't forget that.
Luckily, the dice gods were like, okay,
that's dick move.
All right, dick move.
Here's a 3 and a 1.
Here's a 3 and a 1, dick move. And then he took out my other unit over here, which still successfully blocks up my Palace Guard. So pretty much the worst thing that could happen so far has happened for me. The only shining light that I have is that my tree herder held. You re-rolled your route value and you ended up rolling double 1s. So my tree herder held. Yay!
That's 2 double 1s for me this game, so come on.
That is. The first one was on a bullshit roll, though. That one was good. I like that one. So this is not going good for the elves. I feel like it's a broken record with the elves, man. This edition, I don't know. Other than doing your thing and running 4 fucking Palace Guard hordes, which I can't bring myself to run 4 Palace Guard hordes.
Riders, which everybody in the world runs.
I don't want to run Drakon Riders. I want to run a foot slogging elf list that works. Anyway, all right, guys, we're gonna go on to turn 5, and hopefully I'm not crying underneath the board held in the fetal position here. By the end of the game, I'm gonna be right there probably, just holding my knees and crying, just like you would in the shower after somebody is molesting your models. Because that's what's happening, Tom. You're a model molester. You're a model molester now. Oh God! All right, guys, we're gonna get going to the next turn. All right, guys, we are at the end of turn 5, and I will be honest with you, I cannot believe we made it this far. The Palace Guard finally did some wounds on our beast over here, wavered him, which was good.
No headstrong, failed that too.
Right? Oh my gosh! Oh darn, you failed something. Over here, he flanked with Gallic and got rid of the tree herder. moved forward with his unit of shield breakers that have some wounds on them. And then he charged in with the Rock Riders into the Palace Guard. Did a respectable 11 wounds. That was pretty good. And then over here, just I don't know what the hell's going on, but I think you did 2 more wounds. So you're averaging 2 wounds each turn. So they're up to 6, and then he failed that roll as well. So yeah, guys, we're at turn 6. I hope to God the dice gods are merciful and let this end at the end of turn 6. Because I don't know what I'm going to be able to hold and not hold, and yeah, there's just a lot of variables going on here. So we shall see at the end of turn 6 if there is anything to go on towards. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you guys in just a sec. All right, guys, we're at the bottom of turn 6. Luckily, Tom gracefully rolled a 1, so the game is going to stop here. So I have 1 objective over there. Tom somehow has 2 objectives in the middle because he was carrying 1 objective marker over his unit.
Must be over here.
And then what? You got to be within, what is it to hold? Within 3? Is that what it is? Okay. Either way, I've got 1, and I think he's got like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. He's got enough. And I'm not within contact, I don't think, of any of them to contest. So yeah, I mean, I think I've only got 3 units on the well, technically the bolt throwers.
Yeah.
However, I did shoot Gallic off the board. So even though I lost miserably, it was a moral victory for me because I killed that sumbitch. In fact, my bolt throwers finally woke up and they did like 6, 7 wounds on him. That was beautiful. Just shot him right off the board.
All hits.
And I finally killed that stupid king on large beast, which was awesome. They did awesome this last turn, the Palace Guard.
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to these guys over here, man. These Sea Guard, dude. They're just basic Sea Guard.
Oh yeah.
And they've tied up a Defense 6 unit forever. And they're not Defense 6. But you're what, 7 attacks, 3s to hit. I mean, over time you think it would happen, but you only averaged 2 wounds. I think the last time you actually did more, you did 3 wounds. So you got them up to 9, and then your nerve rolls on them have been ungodly. So yeah, anyway, this is what's left on the battlefield. Not very much left. This is definitely going to be a victory for the Dwarves. Speaking of which, where are all the other counters? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So yeah, definitely a smack fest for you. I felt like a redheaded stepchild for most of that game, so we'll go ahead and end it here, and we'll talk about the game here in just a second. All right, guys. Yeah, good job, man.
Yeah,
we didn't do the good game. Yeah. Even though we're in COVID, we'll wash our hands, sanitize, and all that kind of stuff. Good job, man. That was.
Pretty sold on this list. I think it's really good.
I think it's a good balanced list.
Yeah, I got some shooting.
And it's consistent.
I got some speed. I got some combat. Defense 6. A lot of defense 6.
It's a good list, man.
Good mix of stuff.
It's a good list. Yeah. And if there's one army that can still do balance, it's definitely the Dwarves. Yeah. Even though your speed is greatly diminished being a dwarf.
I got some Brock Riders.
The Brock Riders, yeah, you got the speed
and stuff like that.
You got enough speed there. So for anybody who's considering doing a dwarf list, don't do this one.
The 2 beats still being is pretty gross. 1 being Gallic.
I'm just happy I killed Gallic. So you got to take the little victories in life. This was a rough game for me because everything I tried to do didn't work. And then everything for you that you tried to do worked.
The bolt throwers kind of hurt.
Oh,
if you would have had it more out, like shooting over the hill the entire game kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I realized these guys were high 5.
And that's the thing.
I thought for sure they'd be high 6.
They were high 6.
I thought for sure.
Know your opponent.
Yeah.
The hill was high 3. Apparently, steel behemoths are only high 5. So
he shot over the whole game.
Yeah.
Probably wasted a lot of wounds. Probably would have killed him sooner.
If I would have been able to shoot them more consistently, that was bad on my part because I didn't know how tall the steel behemoths were. I was like
6 too.
Yeah, I thought they were 6, and I'm like, cool, better than 3. I'm good, or at least 3 or better. I'm good. No issues. I can definitely deal with the steel behemoths. But taking till turn 6 to kill one, that hurt. You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
So that was partially my bad. I could have put them somewhere else on the board, and maybe they would have had more impact. Hell, I could have just moved them over a little bit and had more impact. Because I could have shot over my own dudes and not a big deal.
Shoot at the Brocs instead, maybe.
Yeah, could have shot at the Brocs.
Wounds quicker.
Hopefully, you'd think.
Because defense 6,
defense 4, yeah. But yeah, so that's the thing that we learn, you know, for those people that are sore losers out there, first of all, shame on you, because it's supposed to be a game, it's supposed to be fun. Learn how to play better.
I think you learn more from losing than winning.
You do.
Winning, you're just like, oh, I won the game, cool. If you lose, you're like, what could I have done better? What could I improve on?
And there are definitely things, you know, I'm not one of those people that's ever going to say, oh, it was the dice. It was totally the dice. No. The dice are definitely a big component of it, but sometimes you have good games with dice and sometimes you don't. And it's just the way that it works. And typically, if you watch the game enough, the dice will balance out throughout the game. It's just the way that it works. There's probability.
I want dice to just roll average all the time.
Yep,
I don't
50%.
want hot dice, just 50%.
50% across the board.
Every time.
And I'll be good.
I know what to roll. Because if you roll bad, you're like, oh man, if I just rolled 50%, it'd be sweet.
Yep.
That's all I want.
Exactly. That's all we want is average. Now, unfortunately,
but the dice is a 6-sided cube, so
exactly.
Who knows what it'll end up on.
You never know what it's going to end up on, right? It's got a 1 in 6 chance on any facing. So, yeah, so that's the thing, guys. If you're a sore loser, the craziest thing is the best remedy is to lose a lot, because it teaches you humility, and it teaches you more about your list. And that's the thing about this game. Even though everything I tried to do failed, I mean, I tried to come around harder on the flanks. I got tied up again with my units getting wavered.
You got bottlenecked over here. That was a huge deal.
I got bottlenecked on my right flank. Tom's left flank. Yeah, I mean, well, and
the Palace Guard.
And you know, unfortunately, I couldn't move them back. I was going to move them over, but I couldn't because this unit was stuck. Because you had stuck that unit. So sticking that one unit together, it made it easier for you to be able to get over on that side. So, and that's not dice. That's my bad with placing stuff.
Trying to do chaff in front and have stuff behind. It hurts a lot. I mean, it's hard to play.
You've got to
get bottlenecked by like the Lord on Beast with defense 6. You just can time up forever.
Well, and then what you did too is you took out the unit in front, because I had 2 units. If both units of chaff would have kind of sort of died at the same time, or would have one would have lived, whatever.
That's why
if both would have lived,
because I could have killed both units, wiped them off.
Right.
So I was like, no, I want to tie that one up, kill the other one, and then stick the Palace Guard behind. And they can't do anything. They can't charge through your own unit.
Nope. So you know, it's always good to again know what army you're playing against, and know how to. You're not always going to know that, but at least know how an army can do things, right? In this situation, it could be anybody. It's not just a dwarf list. If you're playing Basileans, or you're playing undead, or you're playing ogre, any of them, you can do the same tactics. And know your army enough to avoid those tactics. And unfortunately, like I said, I didn't do very well enough to make my own strategy work. And then yes, there was some bad luck that went with it too. But ultimately, you know, it is what it is. So try and play
good rolls.
Yeah, and I think this list is a very finicky finesse list.
Oh, with all the regiments and stuff.
With all the regiments,
a bunch of hordes and
I regiment spam, and yeah, it's just very, very, very particular list. So, you know, hopefully, maybe in the future, well, not maybe, I will try and change this list around. I'm avoiding, I know what everybody's thinking.
Where's the Drakons?
Where's the Drakon Riders? Where are the dragons? And look, guys, we played that in 2nd edition, and I don't know, it wasn't as much fun. I just didn't enjoy that.
Either win or lose, there's no like happy fun game. It's like you either crush them because you're flying around, you can zoom around, or you lose because they have the anti-flyer stuff.
So what I want is, I would like to do a foot sloggy. And by foot sloggy, I don't mean no cav. I just mean, I try and avoid flyers when it comes to the elves, because I like to make my life harder for myself. And so that's the easy win. I would rather do something that's not quite as easy and that's a little bit more difficult. And if it means I'm going to lose a bunch, I'm going to lose a bunch. It's just kind of the way it is. You know, I would like to be able to add maybe some Stormwind cav in here. It would be nice to get some speed. Maybe some chariots. It would be nice if chariots weren't irregular. Chariots could probably add a nice little wrinkle into it.
You have so many unlocks with the regiments and stuff. You could put a bunch of chariots in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to cut down some of the. I'd have to cut down some of the regiments, but
you're like speed 6 across the board.
Yeah, and that's and for you, if there's any army that's going to give a problem to, it'd be you. But then you got Brocks. Yeah, and I'm not usually worried about Brocks. This game they did really well. They did really well this game. I mean, there's been games they've gone against my elves and the Brocks haven't done crap.
Oh, with all the phalanx?
Yeah, with all the phalanx. So so it's rough. In a way, I'm kind of excited because I love the elves. I love playing the elves. So it kind of gives me a chance to go back and go, all right, what can I do differently?
Yeah.
Look at
Tree Herder was a weird position. Like you kind of. I don't know what you were doing with him.
That's because I didn't know what I was doing with him. Originally, I was like, oh, I'll hold him there. And then once these steel behemoths are hurt, because again, the bolt throwers, I was thinking of a more consistent wounds on them. I could run my tree herder in and take them out a little bit easier. If they're up to 8-9 wounds, oh cool, I can do that with a tree herder. I wasn't thinking. I was figuring that you were going to split, and you started to split them, and I was happy. But then once you got the middle locked down, then you were like, oh, I'm good, and then you put them back together, and I was like, oh, okay, well that's done for. I might even drop the tree herder. I enjoy him so much.
You should.
But I just don't feel, well, it depends. It depends on how the list goes. There are some lists where he's just too expensive and maybe he's not going to work. He's 200. Well, I'm dropping loot from him because I just haven't used loot on him in the last like 6-7 games.
You want him to be in combat. You don't want him to cast the magic. He's not a wizard.
So with that, with loot, he's 285.
Dang.
Without it, he's 260. I think.
He's
don't
really
quote
good,
me on that.
Really good.
I
keep him in. He's nasty.
So, but yeah, I'm going to do some changes to this list. It just, for you guys, I like to be able to, when I make a change, be able to paint it, get it ready to go, put it on the board, so that way you guys can enjoy it and see it. I don't like to have like Invisimodels or something like that, so I'll have to do those changes. However I'm going to do that, I'll do them relatively quick, so that way we still can do different battle reports with them. But dude, your dwarf army is just nasty, man.
It's been fine-tuned over years. Like this is a work in progress, and I think I'm finally set on. I mean, I don't know what else I would change.
I'll tell you right now, I enjoyed this list better than the one you were going to run at AdeptCon.
Yeah.
That one I kind of sort of had a chance to win. With the current list that I have here right now, I don't know. Other than having the dice gods on my side the whole game, I don't know how I'd be able to do it. I mean, it's just it's a difficult army to get through. I got a lot of defense 6.
2 ironclad instead of 2 organ guns. Drop Gallic, just have 1 steel behemoth. But I like a 2 steel behemoth. Gives me some shooting. And Gallic with the 18-inch range, hitting on 4s is pretty gross. Steady aim. And then he's also a good combat. Obviously, he's defense 6, crushing 3, so he's a jerk. Does it all around Swiss Army knife.
Jerk. And what is he in combat? He's 26 attacks, or is that shooting? Which profile is it? 20 something?
That's how it used to be.
Okay, that's why I still have nightmares from 2nd edition.
I think he hit on 5s in 2nd edition.
Yes, he did.
And now he hits on 4s.
Okay, so now he's on 4s and it's 12 plus D6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 shots, 18-inch range, piercing 2.
So you have the potential of 18 attacks, though.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And he flanked me, by the way.
he flanked
the tree herder. Yeah. And he only rolled a 1 on his D6, so I was like, yes.
It's still auto kill.
Oh, yeah. So it's what, 28 attacks? 14, right?
Because you had 12, so 24 plus.
Oh, it's not 13. 26. That's right. Yeah, 12. Yeah,
26
13, 26. 26 on the flank, guys. It hurt bad. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you guys want to see certain armies fighting other armies, please let us know. We don't want it to just put out 13 million battle reports of Elves versus Dwarves.
Yeah.
So please let us know if there's something else you guys want to see.
I've been playing these guys a lot because I'm just trying to fine-tune this list. So that's why you're seeing a lot of action.
Well,
but I also have the rat cannon. I'll be working on those.
And I've got another army that I'm coming out with too. So I'll try and bring I'll try and bring the undead. We just did the battle report. Me and Jimmy just did the one with the undead. So I didn't want to bring the undead again and have them, 2 weeks in a row or however when I release this one. We didn't want that, so I wanted to change it up and bring the elves back. This list, man, it hurts bad. It hurts bad. Yeah. So again, guys, please, like the video if you liked it. Yeah, and let us know, whether it be here on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever. Let us know. And if you guys like what we're putting out, then please, consider subscribing. Yeah. We try and put out battle reports at least every couple of weeks, if not every week, every couple of weeks. We're also trying to continue with tutorials on like how to play Kings of War. I know there's a lot of new people to the game system, and there's not a lot of really good resources for just learning the how-tos.
Just watch the videos, you can see kind of how we move. Like that. That's how I learned.
Yep.
Master crafted.
Yep, that's how we learned how to play. Pretty much was Master crafted, and go from there. And we've got tutorials. We have a couple podcast episodes. I don't know if we're really going to continue with that. Just depends. We might do one every once in a while. But give us ideas too if you guys want certain things. How do you guys do this? How do you guys do that?
Definitely ask questions.
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to
Why you chose this unit over this unit.
Yeah, we'd love. I mean, we'll talk about armies and units.
Why I picked a unit over
oh my God, we'll do that all the time. So if we're not talking about stocks, we'll talk about that. So so anyway, let us know what you guys want to see. Let us know if you guys have any ideas for videos, stuff like that as well. But other than that, we're going to get out of here, and we'll see you guys next time.